am the President and CEO for Community Action Organization of Western New York. We are delighted that you are here to join with us this morning to announce our launch of our HOPE program, Harnessing Opportunities, Pursuing Employment. We have some guests with us, so we would like to get started. At this time, I would like to introduce to you Barbara Gwynn. She is the Commissioner of New York State Department, New York State Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance. So, Commissioner Gwynn.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here today at this exciting launch of the HOPE program in Buffalo. Thank you so much to County Executive Poloncarz for supporting this effort, and of course to Dr. Cannon and the entire team here at Community Action of Western New York. I hope everyone knows how deeply Governor Hochul cares about families and children. She really, truly wants to make New York State the best state to raise a family. And she not only says it, but she backs it up by actions. Since she came in as governor, she has time and time again shown her commitment to elevating not only low-income households, but all households throughout the state by providing investments to reduce child poverty and to reduce cost for all New Yorkers. One of the first things she did was establish a Child Poverty Reduction Advisory Council, which I am very pleased to co-chair, and Dr. Cannon is a member. Our objective was to come up with recommendations to reduce child poverty in New York by at least 50%. We have done that work, and we are starting to implement a number of initiatives towards reaching that goal. One of the first budget, I believe, is when the governor provided additional funding to target child poverty in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse, and this project is a result of some of that investment. Research has shown that providing income supports to families is not just a one and done. When you invest in low-income families and help children get out of poverty, it has a direct impact on that child's well-being and their future success. They're going to do better in school. The family's stress levels are going to be reduced, which reduces trauma throughout a lifetime and really does make a difference. So it's not just about handing out money, but it really is investing in those families in our communities. I want to highlight a little bit about the governor's current budget in terms of what it does to continue investments in child poverty. This year is the second year of increases to the child tax credit. Increase in the child tax credit was the #1 recommendation by the Child Poverty Reduction Advisory Council. This tax season is the first time that low-income families and middle-income families will be able to take advantage of that tax credit when they file their taxes. So big changes have been made to include 0 to 4, one of the first actions the governor took. A lot of people talked about that for years, but never did it. She did it. The second change was to increase the amount of the tax credit that's available to low-income families with children under 4. And so that amount, or for all families, middle-class income families as well, that amount increased from $330 to $1,000 per child. So providing targeted investments for families during a time where their incomes go down often, but their costs are going up. And like I said, we need to make sure people are aware of this and that they file, because there was also another key change made for this policy where there were changes made so that the lowest income families can receive the maximum benefit. You would think it had always been that way, but it hadn't. So now that change is also in place, and we need to do everything we can to get the word out, because that investment plus this year's investment to also increase the benefit for children, older children, 4 through 16, is projected to reduce child poverty by 8%. But we need families to apply for and receive those funds. Of course, this year's budget is all about child care. We are so excited about the governor's investments in child care. She has made investments every year in increasing the availability of child care, and this year goes much farther. This year, the investments, if they are enacted by the legislature, which we fully encourage and expect that they will be, will increase the investments in child care from just $832 million when the governor came in to over $3 billion for child care subsidies. So, huge investments, and also huge investments in order to make universal pre-K a reality throughout New York State, and then also obviously investments to support New York City in their efforts to expand to 2 care. In addition, there's also a change in the dependent care credit, so to help further offset costs that families may incur as a result of needing child care, or perhaps funding for other dependents in the household that are unable to care for themselves. That change that's as part of this year's budget would increase that current credit from about $280 on average per family to $748 per family. So again, another significant change to reduce the cost of providing care for children and others who are dependents in households. In addition, investments in housing. We continue to invest. We know to reduce housing costs, we need to build, build, build. We need to increase the supply. There's more money in this budget to continue that, including something that we're very thankful for at our agency, which is an additional investment in the Homeless Housing and Assistance Program, which supports supportive housing for vulnerable populations. It means a lot to us, and we're really pleased. And then, of course, the governor is also looking to reduce the cost of auto insurance. It sounds like very common sense reforms, but this is going to be a battle, I suspect, but the governor is willing to take on that battle to reduce cost. And then finally, within our particular budget, we have the investment that's necessary so that we can better protect individuals who receive public benefits from benefit theft. This is a problem throughout the nation. We're going to be making investments in our EBT technology and cards in order to reduce the extent to which those benefits are stolen. It's a real problem in New York and elsewhere, and we're going to be able to take steps with that and other actions to really protect these vulnerable households from theft. So again, really happy to be here today. So excited about this initiative. I think it does a number of things. Again, not only providing financial supports to households, but also providing essential services to help them reduce their trauma, become more stable, enter employment. I think that I love the name. Of course, my daughter's name is Hope. I love the name, but I also know that the career and life coaches are going to be the center and the most important element of this program, right? Getting the money to people can happen, but having people who are really good at connecting with others, engaging with them, helping them find hope as well, is obviously the most important part. So hope to, if they're not here today, I hope to come back they are great to meet some of these people, because that work is absolutely essential, and we thank you for doing it and know that it is at the core of this program being a success here in Buffalo. So thank you all very much, and at this point I will proudly introduce County Executive Mark Poloncarz, a wonderful leader and a wonderful friend here for Erie County.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Good. Should get a good echo. We're in a basketball court. It is good to be here at Pratt Willard Community Center and our friends with CAO, which have been a long-term partner for Erie County for decades and decades to try to alleviate poverty in our community. And that's why I'm very pleased to be here as we formally announce the kicking off of Project Hope. I'll let Marie say exactly what it means again. But this is all a result of $12.5 million grant that Erie County received to address poverty in the city of Buffalo and some other corresponding regions from New York State, and specifically from our governor, Kathy Hochul. So first I want to give a big shout out and thank you to the governor. Thank you. This initiative was hers. We often hear about things that come from state government, but this is one that she really wanted to address and alleviate because she knows that poverty exists in Buffalo, poverty exists in Rochester, poverty exists in Syracuse. We've seen great revivals in our communities but not everybody has benefited from it. They often talk about how all boats rise with the tide, unless your boat has a hole in it, unless your boat has problems that can't rise with the tide. And that's often the case when we're talking about individuals in poverty. We're talking about individuals who want to better themselves or trying to better themselves, but because of the issues that they deal with in their daily life, cannot do it. I'll give you a good example, and part of it that's going to be addressed in this project today. Transportation. We often hear from people one of the biggest problems as to why they can't get a better job is because of transportation. They do not have a car. And we know if you live in Buffalo and Erie County and you don't have a car, you can get around, but it takes you a long time to do it. And so one of the goals of the HOPE project is to ensure that we help individuals to achieve the goal of owning a car, of being able to transport themselves across the community, to drive what might take 15 minutes in a car, but an hour and a half on a bus to the job that's just outside of the city of Buffalo. We hear it all the time, that transportation is a big problem, and we hear it not just from the individuals who are looking for jobs, who are trying to better themselves, but we hear it from the employers, that they can't get the people that they need, and a lot of it is in relation to transportation. So not only will this project help people to become self-sustaining, it'll help them get transportation. It'll help those who've never had a driver's license get a driver's license. There are hundreds of families that will benefit from this program. And they're not just, as was noted by the commissioner, a handout. They have to actively try to better themselves and their families through a number of steps, but that are eligible for what really kind of is like a bonus payment. You do the work to better yourself, we will invest in you. And that's what this is. This isn't a handout. This is an investment in people's future. I'm very pleased to be here on behalf of Erie County, which is the prime recipient of the dollars from New York State. I want to thank our Department of Social Services, which is overseeing this program. Our Commissioner Karen Rybicki could not be here today because she's in Albany advocating for more money for the Department of Social Services and more assistance to address child care and poverty. But we're joined by quite a number of the individuals from the Department of Social Services. If you could raise your hand, I see some of you in the back. Thank you. These individuals, I may be the face of Erie County, but they're the ones that are the heart and soul that are working every day to create better lives for people across our community, and I really do thank them. And I also want to thank CAO for being a strong partner in this. Once you're part of the Erie County family, you're always part of the Erie County family, even if you leave the Erie County family. And as some of you know, the president and CEO of CAO is a dear friend of ours, the former commissioner of the Department of Social Services, Dr. Marie Cannon. Now, when I first reached out to Marie to have her join our department as one of the deputy commissioners, she basically said, "There's no way I'm working for Erie County." This is a true story. I fought Erie County. I've been there saying they need to do a better job. And I was like, well, that's a perfect reason why you need to join us, so you can get in there and make a better system for all. And that's exactly what Dr. Cannon did when she was the Commissioner of Social Services. I was sad to see her leave. I didn't want to see her leave. But I knew if there was anybody who was going to go in there and make CAO a better organization, it was her. And that's why I thank you for your participation in this program. I thank you for what you're doing with CAO. And to talk a little bit more about this program and why it matters here, Dr. Marie Cannon.
You know, there are some secrets you're supposed to keep. He was not supposed to tell anybody. I was like, absolutely not. I'm not coming there. But I will tell you, it was my distinct pleasure and honor and privilege to serve as the Commissioner for Erie County Department of Social Services and to work for a county executive who cared about what happened in our community. And that was one of the things in the 10 years that I served in Erie County, that we could always count on our county executive making the right decision for all of our community. So I want to say thank you, sir. See, and I don't even work for him anymore. So again, I just want to say thank you all very much for joining us this morning as we launch this very exciting initiative. I want to say again, thank you to our County Executive Mark Poloncarz, Commissioner Barbara Gwynn, and our partners for joining us this morning for the official launch of HOPE, Harnessing Opportunities, Pursuing Employment. We are delighted that CAO of Western New York, as the local federally designated anti-poverty program, has the opportunity to partner with Governor Hochul's office and her efforts to fight poverty in upstate New York, along with Erie County Department of Social Services under the leadership of Commissioner Karen Wright-Bickey. CAO's Harnessing Opportunities Pursuing Employment program is the vehicle in Erie County that we have collaboratively designed to fight poverty in Buffalo. It is more than a name. It represents the belief that families deserve the opportunity and a real chance to move forward regardless of their situation. So CAO's HOPE initiative is a 12 to 18-month research-supported coaching and employment program designed to serve 600 families in this pilot project. And it is to support upward mobility for eligible families experiencing poverty that reside in the city of Buffalo who has a child under the age of 18 who resides in their homes. The program components include life coaches, which Barbara Gwynn has already referenced, and our life coaches and our career coaches. They are the key to the success of this program. So I just want to take a moment to recognize Dr. Melanie Porter, who is our senior project director, who is leading this program, and to all of our coaches, if you would just raise your hand, our staff that are working on this program. We have, I am blessed, that's the word that I will use. I am blessed to have these folks at the head of this, developing, leading, and implementing the HOPE program. I am absolutely convinced that this is a lifesaver for families. It is not a handout, as the county executive has said. It is us partnering with people, ensuring they have the resources for upward mobility. So we are just absolutely delighted for this opportunity. The program components include, as I said, life and career coaching, financial literacy services. We don't believe that money is the answer to all things. It's an answer, don't get me wrong. Money helps, but we also want people to have the knowledge, the experience, and the skill to manage the money that they have. And it includes linkage to support services, resources, and a direct cash incentive. Our HOPE action items in the fight against poverty include direct cash payment for 600 participating families, each of who could receive up to $16,000 per family if and only if they meet certain benchmarks, include engagement with our career and life coaches, making progress toward their identified goals, enrollment in training and or education or upskilling activities, attainment, retention, or promotion of employment. So we are excited about the incentivize, because we're working with people, we're walking along with people. They're deciding what their goals are, what they want to see happen in and for their families, and we're just partnering with them to ensure that they have all the resources to do that. So life and career coaching, which we've already mentioned, is tailored to meet their employment, educational, financial, and family goals. And of course, employment services are included. There will be approximately 125 participants who will receive assistance in obtaining their driver's license as their first step in reducing the transportation barrier. And this is in partnership with Erie County's Clerk Office Drive program. And we have Mickey Kearns here, so we want to say thank you for that. And Mrs. Simmons, who has been leading the program, we want to say thank you for that. And so it is about partnership as well. We are not doing this alone. CAO is not doing this work alone. It is in partnership with, like, for example, the Erie County Clerk's Office, but we have 80 additional partners that we're working with: employment, support resources, educational, housing, whatever it is in terms of social determinants of health issues that a family may face. We are activating the Automotive Matching Program, AMP, and that will give 10 participants savings accounts, and that we will match 6 to 1 as they've deposited into their savings account over time, building up the discipline of saving. So they can get up to $6,000 towards the purchase of a vehicle. So we're very pleased about that because, as the county executive said, we know transportation is a huge barrier. Participants will also have access to various workforce development programs, including subsidized job placement, on-the-job training, industry-specific career pathway programs, pre-apprenticeships, among others. Partners include over 25 employers, 80 partners, and I'll just highlight a few of them: Northland Training Center, Goodwill, Good Skills Program, Parachute Credit Counseling Services, 716 Ministries, County Clerk's Offices, Mr. Brian's Clothier, Robert Lowry Training. I see some of our partners who are here. So we have about 80 different partners that we're working with. Then all the participants will also have access to the internal resources at CAO, which include priority in our Head Start, Early Head Start, and Child Care partnerships, our food pantries, mobile markets, our senior and youth activities, housing assistance, after school and summer programming, and one of our other new programs, Buffalo Futures, our youth workforce development program. And the last piece to the program is that it is part of a pilot, a state pilot, to see what works to helping people move out of poverty and become self-sufficient. So there is an evaluation piece, so we are participating in the evaluation because there's a specific study to say what are the levers that will help people move out of poverty, and what parts of this pilot program that the state can implement across the entire state that will help all New Yorkers move in terms of economic stability. And so right now, we currently have about 283 applicants who have been screened and have 195 determined eligible already, which means, though, we still have space for 400 participants. So we're asking that you would share this information because we absolutely believe that this HOPE program can be life-changing. So if anybody is interested, please go to caowny.org/hope. Again, caowny.org/hope. So we want to just say thank you very much. I see some of our board members are here. Damone Smith, thank you for joining us. I see Regina Boyd, one of our instructors for our in-person financial literacy class. So I'm not going to call any more names because I don't want to miss anybody, but we're just grateful that you all are here to partner with making sure that 600 Buffalo residents have the opportunity to reach their own identified goals in terms of employment, training, their family goals, their education. We're just walking along to ensure that they have all the resources. And I know that with the staff that's in place and our partnerships across the county and the city, and with the support of our board and the community, that this will be successful. Thank you.